Having somebody drop this?
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think
It's a beautiful day.
It is. It is. Really pretty.
You can be pretty fast on that, so make. I think this is a better path.
You think this one is?
This one's pretty direct.
Oh, that's true. Otherwise, he'll be up at the back.
Off-road scootering. All right, there it is. You missed it. Next to this Norway spruce. Right here.
That way is snow. So Priya, I want to just say a few words because Mary Kay Polashek was so special, and we just invite everyone, whoever would like to also speak. And so, can you hear me in the back? I'll try to speak up. When Priya and I received a list from Mary Kay's husband Emil of her former students, it had hundreds of names on it. And when I saw those names on the list, it was a reminder to me that every single student, every single orchestra student she had met, that she had met and mentored, meant an awful lot to her. For many of us, myself included, Mrs. Polashek was the teacher in Ames that we had the longest, through middle school and high school. So most of us that were in high school orchestra had her for 5 or 6 years or sometimes more if she taught us in elementary school. And as she worked with our squeaks and our squawks to turn them into a recognizable melody, she did so much. For me, I remember meeting Mary Kay in 7th grade, a time when I was deciding I would likely quit violin. It just really wasn't working for me. There were too many squeaks. But that year, not only did she convince me to stay, she convinced me to switch to an entirely new instrument, the viola.
Of course she
That
did.
I was just thinking, I was like, wait, you didn't play violin? I was like, wait a
Nobody
minute.
remembers I did play violin over there. That she thought I would like better, or maybe perhaps just speak less on. She was right, at least with the joy of viola, maybe not so much the squeaking. But with that, I would continue to play until I graduated from high school. When I think back to those years of my life, I am reminded that Ames High Orchestra was a fundamental part of my community. In orchestra, I made friends that I would now, at the age of 44, say that I have carried with me through a lifetime. In orchestra, it is where I would develop my first head over heels crush. Sorry for that. Where I would,
First, not last.
yes, first, definitely not last. Where I would be welcome to attend our orchestra field trip to Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, even though I had sustained very recently a terrible sports injury, and I would need to be pushed around in a wheelchair the entire time. I still remember Mary Kay, when I was contemplating not coming, saying, quote, "You should come on the trip, Adina. You'll be fine. You're one of us," end quote. I went on the trip, put my leg up on the seat on the bus, and had a wonderful time. As I close, I thought I would share, I have been reflecting on the why of it for Mary Kay, especially as it pertained to me and, well, frankly, all of us, all of her students. From all accounts, it was very clear that in high school I would not pursue music as a career. In fact, she would teach hundreds of students, knowing most of us would do other things in life. But then recently I found a poem written by an anonymous person that I thought would nicely express why. It is called "This Is Why I Teach Music," and I'll read it. This is why I teach music. I teach music not because I expect you to major in music. I do not teach you music because I expect you to play or sing all your life. I don't teach you music so you can relax or just so you can have fun. Rather, I teach you music so that you will be human, so that you will recognize beauty. I teach you music so that you will be closer to an infinite beyond this world. I teach you music so you will have something to cling to, so that you will have more love, more compassion, more gentleness. In short, I teach you music so that you will have more life.
Beautiful.
Several years, and in February I read the article about her last concert in Ames and her retirement and her illness, and I sent her a note and mentioned that I lived in Austin, and it just so happened that she was coming to Austin a few weeks later, and so I had the chance to see her, and it was a really emotional meeting for me because I hadn't seen her in several years and she could no longer speak by that time. But despite not speaking, she actually conveyed so much, and her spirit was just as strong as ever. And I was really lucky actually to be able to see her and have the opportunity to thank her for teaching me. Like Adina said, Mrs. Polashek was the teacher I had the longest for 6 years, and when I was younger, it didn't quite dawn on me in that same way, even though I had had her as a teacher for so long. Orchestra was an integral part of my school years. I made friends. I learned how to make music with people. I learned about working as a team, and I learned how to appreciate music. And a lot of the credit for that goes to Mrs. Polashek. And I always felt, she believed in my potential much more than I did. And she pushed me, and she could be very intense when, she expected more. And I feel that, she really she saw something, and she really wanted to encourage me to play more and to be a better musician. And I, like Adina, I don't play the violin anymore, but I still play the piano, I sing, and music is still a big part of my life. And I feel that a lot of my appreciation of music goes back to those years in orchestra, and just playing together. When we came together to bring her former students together for this paver, it was really an amazing experience because, first of all, it was like a walk down memory lane. I felt like I was in orchestra again, especially those first years, freshman and sophomore year, looking up to the upperclassmen and being so in awe of them, and just the fun that Mrs. Polashek used to have with the group. But it was just so amazing to see so many people share their memories of her, and just to see what an impact she had had on so many students. And so many of them were like, you know, things like anything that has to do with Mary Kay, I'm in. And she was loved by many, many people and made such a tremendous impact on the Ames community. Finally, I would just like to say, you know, especially after I met her again this past year, and I kind of saw her document this last year and her journey, I felt that she was my teacher all over again. But this time, she was teaching me the lesson of how to handle life's most difficult challenges with courage and grace. And I was telling Emil that that is a lesson that I will not forget. I thought it was simply astounding. And I am sad that she is gone, but I know that her legacy will live on.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
You also.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go in the cell back around.
This is something of a reunion. I mean, I don't think the three of us have actually been together since high school.
Okay. No, you can be there. Yeah.
Say cheese. Oh, you already are.
We're all thinking about that Kansas City trip.
Oh, yes. And the Ordinary Orchestra
I'm
outing.
slow.
Yes, those were good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
those are great.
Okay, sure.
It takes me a little while to thaw out.
Your fingers a little frozen?
What was your favorite activity at the Ordinary Orchestra outing?
Ooh. I was being pushed around to be the kid, so I felt really bad for people who had to push me the whole time.
It's fun to just
You remember
like
the candle
stay up the candle and that sheet. There was like a sheet that we all like said.
We did something with goldfish
I hear
too.
them talking quite a bit.
I was trying to remember what we did, but I remember something with goldfish.
Live or the crackers?
No, they were like in the
Oh, okay.
the bags.
Like, where
They
was
were
I there for
live?
the? They were live. Live goldfish.
I remember being in I forget the plaza area and exploring and get to see all the variety of areas or the shops and stuff. The water fountains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Water fountains.
That is I really love the museum. We just in the museum, and I do remember, you know, all of her pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And she really did. She said, "Come, you'll be fine."
And she took us to performance.
She was pretty big on
Yeah.
When we
taking
were in
students to
Kansas City.
hear
Yeah, that was
big,
a big part of
great
it.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was
Very,
really,
very fun trip.
no, looking back on it, it's such a cool experience to have.
Cool like the weather today.
The weather today.
So,
And
would we?
anyone else,
Would anyone else like to?
I would thank you, just say that
oh wait, hold on.
Yeah.
we didn't expect, Mary Kay didn't expect anything like this, but was really thrilled. She would never let any visitor get away without having seen that paver. She was very grateful for the thought and the effort. experience that went into getting that and moving forward with that. It was very nice.
Glad she got to see it. We're really glad that she got to see it.
And I'm glad we found it.
No.
We had to shovel this whole thing. I know I'm trying for the video. We had to shovel all the way from there to right there.
That was a part of this.
I think we should have started earlier or whatever. I would have come to help, but the lady just kind of was like, "You can just stand and wait," and I was like,
She tried to tell that to me too.
That's why I was like, I started walking because I was like, this doesn't feel right, just standing here waiting.
When we came, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's the dancing chimes pavers, the bald cypress trees, which have no leaves on them, and then it's these, or no, it isn't these, but she."
So did Mrs. Polashek see this?
She did not
saw
here.
the one in
The
the
one
one.
at the,
Yeah.
oh,
One
And
got
it's identical.
Yeah, one got the copy of it got delivered to their home, so luckily she was able to see that.
And the actual chimes
Yep.
are over here.
Former students of Mary Kay, get over there on those chimes, but be careful, they're slippery.
Dance.
With some force.
Oh, you gotta stop.
You got boots on, use
You gotta
them.
stop. No, you guys were telling me slippery, and that's what I was more worried about.
I know, I don't have the right shoes.
So in the summer you can cut back.
Yeah.
We also noticed she has her own row. That paper has her own row, so we can see. I was wondering if it'd be filled in later.
Maybe. But she was the first.
She was the first.
Thank you very much for having the thought and the
Well, we realized
desire.
that we were both going to be